Hello, everyone. Today I will mainly introduce the blast of rice. Blast of rice, also known as Magnapoda griseae, rice seedling blight, and ryegrass blast, occurs in all rice regions of the world and is one of the main diseases of rice at present. The blast of rice is particularly severe in Southeast Asia, Japan, South Korea, India, and China. In years when the blast of rice is prevalent, the loss of affected fields is generally at 10 to 30%. And if the disease is not prevented and treated in time, not a single grain will be reaped in some fields. So what exactly does the blast of rice look like in the field? How do we identify it? In fact, the blast of rice occurs throughout the rice growth duration. It is classified into seedling blast, leaf blast, node blast, spike neck blast, and grain blast, according to the different damage periods and positions. Among them, leaf blast and spike neck blast are the most common and most harmful. Today, I will especially explain the field symptoms of leaf blast for you. First of all, leaf blast is possible to occur from the trefoil stage of rice seedlings to the adult stage of leaves. The duration from the tillering stage to the jointing stage of seedlings as the peak period of the disease. At the initial stage of leaf blast, needle-sized brown spots tend to appear on the leaves, and then the spots gradually expand due to different climatic conditions and disease resistance of rice varieties. 4 types of leaf blast are mainly formed, namely chronic type, acute type, white spot type, and brown spot type. Let's start by identifying chronic leaf blast. The spots of chronic leaf blast are fusiform or spindle-shaped, and the outermost layer is a yellow halo ring, named the toxic part. The inner ring is darker in color, brown, named the necrotic part, and the central color of the spots is light, grayish in color, named the collapsed part. The veins in the center of both ends of the spot often become brown long strips, named necrotic lines. Gray mold layers are produced on the back of the spots when the weather is humid. So the toxic part, necrotic part, collapsed part, and necrotic line of the spots just mentioned are abbreviated as the 3 parts and 1 line, which is the main feature of chronic leaf blast spot. Chronic leaf blast spots are also typical spots of the blast of rice, and you should master their identification points. Let's talk about acute leaf blast next. Acute leaf blast occurs mostly in susceptible cultivars or on rice plants with excessively applied nitrogen fertilizer, and the spots are dark green, grayish green in the center, waterlogging shaped at the edges, nearly round or irregular, needle or moonbeam in size, with dense gray mold layers produced on the front and back of the leaves. Such spots develop rapidly and are the most harmful, and massive appearance of acute leaf blast spots is often a precursor to the large-scale epidemic of a blast of rice. Under improper conditions, such as the weather turning clear, or after prevention and treatment by agents, they can be transformed into chronic spots. The third type of leaf blast is white spot leaf blast. The white spot type appears mostly on the tender leaves of the upper part of rice, where round or nearly round white spots are produced without producing mold layers. If the temperature and humidity are proper, it can turn into an acute spot. The last type of leaf blast is brown spot leaf blast. Brown spot leaf blast occurs mostly in dry climate conditions, on disease-resistant cultivars or old leaves in the lower part of rice plants, where pinpoint brown spots with the size of needle tips show up at the onset of the disease, mostly between veins, and generally no mold is produced on the spots. It has little transmissibility. It turns into chronic leaf blast in case of bad weather. Now, I'm going to test you to see how much you have mastered. Please take a close look at the following leaves to determine which leaf blast they are, respectively. Well, let's take a look at the correct answer. It's not hard for us to tell from the picture that leaf number 4 shows a typical chronic leaf blast. Leaf number 5 shows a white spot leaf blast, and leaf number 6 shows a brown spot leaf blast. So which leaf blast shows on leaf number 1, 2, and 3, respectively? In fact, number 1 and number 2 are signs of acute leaf blasts, and number 3 is a sign of a chronic leaf blast in the middle stage of the disease. Finally, let's summarize what we have learned. Today, I mainly introduced the field symptoms and occurrence of 4 types of leaf blast, namely chronic, acute, white, and brown leaf blasts. After class, please consult professional literature again to sort out the characteristics and connections of the 4 types of leaf blasts. Well, I believe that you have learned something today. That's all for today's class. See you next time.